من در کنار کویر زاده شدم. در این سرزمین بسیارند بادهایی که موجودات زنده اند.
There are moments in this project where the wind and this breeze is no longer a breeze. You can see the effect of the violence of this helicopter and the wind that is enacting on this village that it's going through.
Our solo exhibition, Lover's Wind, looks at a film with the same title that was made in the 70s by Albert Lamorisse, the French filmmaker, well known for The Red Balloon. And it kind of starts and ends with the tragic event of his death that happened in Iran while making the final frames of the film.
خودش هلیکوپتر سوار میشه و به کابل تکاور گیر میکنه.
It's a helicopter crash that happens in Karaj Dam, which is a major site in the project as well. And it's a multi-channel installation that kind of offers different entry points into this story and speculates about the voice and the authority of the image.
در آغاز بادی واهنشین بودم.
We started working together in 2013, and when we started working, there was really a desire and a question thinking about narration and sort of documentary and essay filmmaking practices, which have this kind of authoritative voice that can articulate something over top of images, and even when it's critical or political in its form and content, there was still a question for us about the authority that voice can enact over images.
This country is ours.
This country is ours.
And so in a way we started from a question of what it would look like for three individuals to approach that narrative practice together in this kind of critical look at image making. The point of departure was always using the story or the question of what happened to think about how places are narrated and how myths are created. And because the film is so well known in Iran, there was like endless amount of versions of the story that we were interested in thinking about and asking people about as a way to also think about exile and displacement.
There's the obsession about the bird's eye view or the kind of looking down that he's consistently had throughout his career, starting with The Red Balloon.
سر یکی از فیلمبرداری‌ها چیزی که توجهمو جلب کرد یه بادکنک قرمز بود.
And he's an inventor. He kept inventing things, and he invented this rig that he put on the helicopter that he got famous for. Like, he really got famous because he created that helicopter rig. I think there was this attempt in his practice to escape body and have this like outer body kind of point of view. We were really interested in bringing him down to earth and seeing what the people that he was depicting have to say about him. There was also this kind of like an idea that if he comes back, which he comes back in this project, he introduces himself as Albert Lamorisse, the French filmmaker.
Albert Lamorisse هستم، فیلمساز فرانسوی.
It's almost like another real has been found, or something impossible has been found, and a new voice is coming back to speak to this history of this career, but also of these images that have been created, why they were created, what the desires were.
New Guinea, Madagascar,
and the fact that he invented risk,
Iceland,
to me is just a perfect little twist in the middle of everything, that the same brain created this.
فتح قلمروهای جهان هدف این بازی هیجان انگیز و غیر قابل پیش بینی است.
The meeting point of Albert Lamorisse and his kind of personification of this roving, moving figure looking down at landscapes, and it's meeting with a kind of personification of the wind in Iran and its folklore, and kind of meeting halfway. And there's a kind of a romance around that I think was interesting, and you know, like the romance of the wind that moves with ease and it goes beyond borders, that is kind of is very situated in Iranian myths and folklore, and then at the same time this romance of the helicopter, you know, and it's also the 70s, you know, The violence of a helicopter moving through a landscape is not something you can't ignore. When he crashed, there are stories of the film also going down into the dam and coming back. And this process of something being lost and especially being damaged by water, coming back, being restored, cared for, conserved in different ways. And then the material of the film became the site onto which so much narrative was projected, which is something that you kind of dive deep into with Postscript, where an archivist kind of goes over and over about what she thinks this film strip represents.
درسته میتونه یعنی 2 تا سفر بوده اینی که الان داریم مثلا میتونه اصلا مال سقوط نبوده باشه.
In the exhibition space in Mercer Union, what was afforded to us and the opportunity of working within this space is just like physically situating that postscript behind this tower. They attempt to explain each other, but they also are unable to. Spatially, that was something we really thought about a lot, and we're really excited about just the feeling of those two things. You can't see them at the same time, but you're aware of the presence of each of them.
روایتی که ما سالهای طولانی 50 سال داریم تکرار میکنیم شاید از اساس اشتباهه.
شاید میتونه باشه.
من فکر کردم اینم خوبه که به شما عرض کنم.
و یه سوال دیگه هم داشتم این نکته که